Who was killed in Saturday's shooting near the White House has been identified as 21-year-old Nazir Best from Maryland. Best allegedly encountered Secret Service at least twice last year and had a history of mental health issues. He also told authorities that he was Jesus Christ and he wanted to get arrested. Political strategist Katie Zacharia joins me now. Katie, good morning to you. You know, the president's initial reaction to this was to point out that this shooting took place a month after the White House Correspondents Association dinner shooting. And he reiterated his point that all presidents deserve very safe spaces like the ballroom. And the funding and construction of that project is now very much in question. So does the president have a point here?
Absolutely, the president has a point. Look, within 1 month, we have a two times gunman trying to attempt to take President Trump's life. And this is historic, right? He's bringing crime down across the country. We're at 126-year lows, particularly in D.C. It's the safest it's ever been. Yet President Trump, the attempts on the president's life are absolutely historic. And so this ballroom has to be built, not just for President Trump, but for every single future president. As this type of leftist extremism is not being dealt with, we need to make sure the President Trump is safe and every president is safe after him, Carly.
Well, this particular gunman, Best, was known to Secret Service and he had a criminal record. Do you view this as an incident that should have been prevented?
Well, look, with the White House security complex, thank goodness the Secret Service neutralized him before he even had an opportunity to get any closer. And I think what we have to address is the fact that we have a problem in this country with leftist hate. We've had so many attempts. I was at Mar-a-Lago when they had to neutralize another attempted assassin on President Trump, and thankfully he wasn't there. But if we don't tune down, if the left does not get a hold of the violent rhetoric, this is historic. Look, you have these 21, 22, even early 30-year-old men that are very extreme and being indoctrinated online. And so we have to get to the bottom of this. So could it be prevented? I think that we need to take a hard look at what's driving the extremism. And a lot of that, Stephen Colbert, Jimmy Kimmel, this violent rhetoric just seems to continue going, although Colbert was held accountable finally, Carly.
Yeah, you know, Kate, that's a great point. And if you could dive into it a little further, because clearly there is a real issue when it comes to young men and this mental rot that's taking place that's leading to extreme violence among young men in America right now. Why do you think that's happening and how do we prevent this?
Two of the attempted assassins have come out of California. And now we have this, including on Justice Kavanaugh. And we haven't seen, Carly, we haven't seen this same tick across the board from the right. Although the left wants to continue saying the right is the violent side, it is all coming from the left with the assassination of Charlie Kirk and all these attempts on President Trump and the attempted assassin of Justice Kavanaugh. So what is driving this is, in my mind, you're looking at Maryland, California. You have this, President Trump had actually signed an executive order on dealing with radical indoctrination in K through 12 and then in higher education. And we have to get to the root of what is driving this radical indoctrination, particularly from the left among young men, and why they think that they have the opportunity to take these types of situations into their own hands and portray violence on American people. This is also Mangione. And also the Pacific Palisades arson lit this fire with the same leftist extremism that led to $250 billion of damage and lives lost, Carly. So it's widespread and systemic, and we need to deal with the root causes. Yeah. I think we're getting to that with the executive orders, but we need to get deeper on online extremism.
Yeah, this is a deep problem that no matter how many shootings or close calls there are, it remains unsolved, which should be of utmost concern to all of us. Katie, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you, Carly.
Good to see you.